Hi. Um, yeah, this is video 893. It is a little after midnight on December 26th. So, about an hour ago was the end of Christmas Day. And had a couple thoughts I just wanted to mark some time. A couple things happened. Uh, I sent my dad a Christmas card, and he wrote me back. It was addressed to my dead name, but he wrote me back. Hey, um, I'm happy to get some conversation. He didn't write anything in it other than "Love, Dad," which again, um, take what you can. Um, I'm hoping I can build a relationship with him again. But you know, as always, my hands are open. I'm the one reaching out. I wasn't the one that put the hand up. Um, so that's really good news. And my mom is kind of getting up there in age. Spoke with her today, and kind of every time I talk with her over the last week or two, it's oh, my side is hurting so much. And she's, her age. She's getting up there. Um, but I kind of want to talk about something else. And 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 I had a really good visit with my ex-wife and her fiance and my daughter. Tonight we had kind of like Christmas coffee. Okay. So, as far as like how things have panned out, you know, um, what, 2015, 16 is when I transitioned. Um, 7 years ago. I think things have really gone pretty good. Good relationship. We've had our bumps and whatnot, but all in all, things are good. But I guess I kind of want to talk a little bit about family and a little bit about friends, but more so blood family. Um, one of the things about my ex-wife, her family, is there were a lot of kids. There were 6 kids in her family, and my wife was number 5 of 6. Okay, so by the time she came along, it wasn't a middle child thing. There was hand me downs all the way and da 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 da. But in that family, there is a common thread of unity and support. And while maybe there was some distance, everyone's an individual. You can't just say everyone's the same. But, there was kind of a sense of unity. And I've seen this sense of unity in other families, um, but not so in my family. And I think that's something that it's very hard for me to take. It's very hard for me to understand. Um, you know, there was sort of a mentality in my family of what I'm going to call selfishness, and how that's played itself out is, you know, uh, I want to be a part of whatever I can, kind of like um, the card that I got from my dad. Uh, there was no when I sent him a card, I included a one-page letter inside of it that was, kind of this is what I've been doing. This is what Katie's, my daughter's, been doing. Hope you're doing well. Very friendly but short letter. And, maybe what I'm looking for is some substance. You know, I met tonight with my like I said, my ex-wife's fiance, and we had a 3-hour conversation about work and life and everything else. And, I spoke with my mom today, and once we got past the, oh, my side's hurting and my teeth are hurting, and listen and speak with, my mom asked how I was doing. You know, she had an interest in what was going on with me. What am I interested in? How's my game coming along? I'm writing a story and hobby stuff. It's an interest in the other person, a genuine interest. You know, and you know, with the family that I grew up in, it really wasn't that way. My dad's family, his sister, his side of the family, uh, I think they were starved for that love, you know. So I'm not trying to say the way it's sounding is, one's better than the other. Obviously, you want to have a genuine interaction with someone, but it's difficult. Um, anyway, so where was I going to? I crave any sort of um, not validation, but like a relationship. Like I was so happy to get the card from my dad, even though it was written to my dead name and it was very short. There was no thought put into it, just love dad, which in that is great, better than fuck you, right? But I crave that love, you know. And with my dad, it seemed like it was always there were strings attached, you know. And with my sister to a degree, and my dad's side of the family was, well, what are you gonna do for me? Why should I give you anything? You know, and that's just that's such a hard thing, But again, I want this any relationship I can have, I want, but you know, and maybe this is nothing earth shattering, um, but there are people in our lives who they're like magnets for their own interests, and they're not really interested in giving anything. They just want to take. Um, my niece moved up here um, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and um, I didn't find out about it till just like a year ago. You know, I have blood relatives, like 30 minutes up the road, and no one told me. You know, now I haven't really been close to my sister since I transitioned. Um, but it was like I don't understand how you could be so close to someone and not care. And I guess that's something as a child, that's something that I really wanted. I wanted that love, I wanted that attention, I wanted that affirmation. Um, and when my mom divorced my dad, um, I didn't get it. You know what I mean? So, in addition to everything else, maybe where I feel like I'm fucked up a little bit in the head, you know, I kind of feel like maybe I want that attention. I'm starving for that, you know, what I'm building towards is. So I friended on Facebook um, my niece, and she accepted my friendship, but I got the feeling she kind of blocked me right away. And she'll post pictures of her family,
My, you know, she's my niece. I don't know if that makes them my great nephews. I don't know. Her children, she's two children. And I'm very happy to see pictures of her now as a young lady and her children and my brother-in-law, you know, all of these other people who, before I transitioned, they would talk to me, but they weren't really they weren't interested in what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like it was like, you know, I don't know. I never really had that connection. And tonight, um, you know, there are things that I don't know. I guess I could have saved a lot of this by just saying the relationship is one way. You know, there are people in our lives that it's not a two-way street. You know, um, and it kind of it saddens me. It saddens me. It saddens me that my dad um, doesn't want to have a relationship with me. It saddens me that my dad doesn't want to have a relationship with my daughter. You know, his granddaughter. It's just granddad, his child. His grandchild. Um, it saddens me that growing up because of my parents' divorce. Half my family split. My mom's side of the family went that way. I went with my dad over here, and the people in this family weren't really about kumbaya, come together, share each other's, you know what I mean? So it was like things were screwed up and then made even more screwed up, and then I was screwed up because I was transgender. Um, I don't know, just how messed up we are. And something that talking with my ex-wife a little bit tonight and over the course of knowing her, it was the same somewhat in her family. The kids, the original four or five, well, two or three or four kids, they took up so much resources that by the time number five and number six came, there really wasn't much there, um, and they're not close. You know what I mean? It's like, so I know there's variety in families, but I guess as a 50-year-old child, I just feel so alone. I don't have my family connections. I can't pick up the phone. I don't have my sister's phone number. Okay. Um, I can't reach out to her. And she's 4 years older than me. We should have this relationship. We don't. You know, because I transitioned. And because of that, then I couldn't associate with my niece because I wasn't allowed to because I transitioned. So it's like as I'm going off on my own now, the way I've been going ever since I was 18, you know, when I left for college, I lost whatever I had with my dad and whatever I had with my stepmom. And my mom was already on her own because of the divorce with my dad. I mean, it was just like, of all the things that, I was already alone, and then transgender, even more alone. Um, and kind of where I'm at now, um, I have some friends, but I'm not really gonna have that close, not gonna have that close relationship. I don't think I'm gonna have that like with someone else. This as far as a family. I have some really good friends, and I'm very thankful to have them. Um, Better to have them than not have them, of course. But I'm just saying, as far as a family connection, like if you got married and you met somebody and again, for the time that I was integrated with my ex-wife's family and I was the cool uncle, I could sit down and talk to I did connect with other members of the family, children, and then, or, the six kids, the brothers and sisters of my ex wife. And I connected with the nephews, and the nieces. Like I said, I was the cool uncle. Um, I played Legos with them. I played Star Wars with them. We built models together. I said Legos, didn't I? Video games. I was the cool uncle. And then when I transitioned, my ex-wife and her family went this way, and I went that way, and there I am alone again. So I guess it's a little bit of lamenting and kind of feeling like I'm on my own orbit, and I'm on my own path, and I don't know. I seriously don't know if I'm gonna, I mean, you never know if you're gonna find somebody, but I don't know. I kind of feel like it's kind of a paradigm shift maybe between the generation that came before me, my sister's generation, and my parents, and then my generation and after. Because I know a number of guys, you know, not quite as old as I am, not 50, but 45, 40, 35, um, single, older gamer guys who some of them are divorced. And, the ones who are divorced are like, hell no, I'm not getting married again. And then the ones that are single, they're like, they're going to be single. They're no interest in, so it's kind of like going, you know, um, I don't think I'm going to find a guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm not making sense. Um, I may just end up moving to another city when my daughter graduates and goes out on her own. I may end up moving, to another city and getting a dog or something. I mean, it's like, uh, make lemonade, I guess, with the lemons and be a part of my daughter's life. And maybe if she gets married, I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know, the kids. I almost think my daughter is like, I'm too smart to get married. Maybe marriage is kind of a thing of the past, you know? I don't know. Um, but, whew, crazy world. So, not sure if I made much sense with this video, but I guess I just kind of wanted to share. I just feel very alone, Not I'm not sad though. I'm just kind of going, hmm, how is this gonna work out? And of course, we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. You know, if my daughter was to meet somebody and I could be the cool grandma, I mean, I don't know. At the same time, I could meet somebody and hit it off, or not. My happiness is not fully dependent upon it. Does that make any sense? I make my own happiness. You know, a lot of fun playing some games this week, some video games, and planning for my D&D game and getting settled in at work. I mean, um, knowing that 2 years from now, when my daughter graduates, um, would I really want to be stuck here in Louisville? You know, maybe it's a good thing that I'm not attached because then I can pick up and go to Tennessee or go to Wisconsin. I can, go look around at what I like and then make a decision and move towards it. You know, I came up here because of grad school and I dropped out. So it's like uh, it was kind of circumstance that brought me up here. But now, if I can sit there and say, well, okay, I like this city in Wisconsin. I like this city in, Tennessee, Chattanooga. I want to go to Chattanooga. Um, you know, I can do that. And maybe that's the freedom of the next step. I don't know. Um, but I don't know, babies. Just kind of taking this one day at a time. But anyway, it's kind of where I'm at. Um, Not sure if I made a point or not, but just kind of a signpost where I'm at this year. I think next year is going to be very, very different. I pay off my car in January. Next month, I have one car payment left to go. And then I can kind of start to save up some money for my daughter if she, car insurance so she can start to drive the car um, the temptation is college for her, but I still owe my college loans and if I want to retire, I need to start to save that up and if I want to move and get a house, I got to, you know what I mean? Um, I think it would take me like 10 years to save up um, enough of a down payment on a house, but you got to start somewhere. You can't just pull it out of your ass. So, on that note, I will sign off. Wish you the best of luck in your journey, in your pursuit of becoming your authentic self as you define it. Till next time, bye bye.